Come on into another episode of Talking Champions and Game Runs Deep. I'm Sudu Upadhyay. That has been Garrett. He's got his little play-by-play headset on, man. What you doing? Where you at? Tell us. That is not the usual background. I don't see the Riverland house back there. I don't see a picture of your family. Where you at, man?
I'm in Orlando, Florida. Kind of decided to bring the wife and kids. They've never been to, my kids have never been to Universal. So,
oh my God, are you serious? First time?
For them, yeah. And
let's go.
Yeah. So it was something that was kind of last minute. We decided to go, and God blessed me with a little bit of money that I could take them. And so here we are. I'm in Orlando right now. They're down at the pool, enjoying themselves. This is the work day. Then tomorrow is Islands of Adventure, and then Thursday is Epic. So looking forward to it. Hello to Mary. Hotty toddy to you. All the time. God is good all the time. Ole Miss fan 198824. You ready? In the chat at 2TallPaul94. God is good all the time. He's absolutely right. And just excited to be here, man. Angela Fox says, good morning, Rebel family. Good morning, Angela.
So you've been to Universal. You've seen Harry Potter World and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, but see the problem though is that like I'm 40 years old now, and when I tell you that I do not have the stomach to ride stuff anymore, it's true. Like the one time me and Emily went, it's because she wanted to. It was kind of like a present. She's like, I know you really want to go to Harry Potter World. Are you big Harry Potter nerd? So we went, and we rode the Hagrid ride, and it was awesome.
Bro, I was just about to ask you. But you got to admit, bro, like out of all the rides, the Hagrid ride's cool. I love the, I don't even know, it's not even virtual reality. Whatever the one is, where you fly over Hogwarts on the broom.
Well, that's what I was about to say. So we walk over from Hagrid to the Hogwarts ride, which is the Whomping Willow. And by that point, it was hitting your boy hard. So I just turned to the right, and I shot for distance, and the Whomping Willow got covered in some Ben Garrett, throw up, whatever was in my stomach.
Yikes.
Yeah, but like they're excited. They're excited. Gracie watched the first two. It's finally gotten to watch some of the movies. I can't get them to read the book, so they finally read watched the first two movies on the way down here. Gracie claims she loves it. We'll see. But I'm excited to hang out with them and get to spend some time with them. We hadn't been anywhere in a while together, so it's really cool to be able to go somewhere.
Well, listen, we got a props to Benny's dedication to the show, guys. Send him some love in the comments. I told him last night, I said, dude, I got it. I'll just do a solo episode. This man said, no. I'll see you at noon Eastern.
No.
And I was like,
no,
okay.
This was baked into the whole experience. I said, I gotta get on with my guy, Sue. I'm so thankful. I'm supposed to talk to Peter Burns yesterday with Brad, but Brad knocked it out himself. And Peter Burns from ESPN is absolutely awesome. Thank him for coming on Talking Champions. And I was honestly planning to like do that show and then start the drive. I mean, that's a beastly drive. That's a beastly drive.
I lived in, I mean, it's even further from Oxford, or New Albany, I guess. But yeah, when I lived in Atlanta and moved to Orlando for that 1 year, I remember that just being a terrible drive because it always tells you it's 6.5 and it ends up becoming 9 somehow. So I can't even imagine what it was like from, where you're coming from.
Dakota King says, buddy got a McDonald's mic. Holy moly. Hey, I don't know how it sounds, but I got this from Walmart a long time ago for these specific purposes. I actually used this mic when I went to the beach last year. I thought about going different. I had like some connectivity stuff that I could have used and been this, that, and the other. But man, I said, you know what? I like my little dinky headset. I can hear just fine. Hopefully y'all can hear me just fine. And it doesn't sound too ridiculous as we get started here on Game Runs Deep Talking Champions. Brought to you as always by our friends at BNA Bank, 662-534-8171, online at bnabank.com. And while, yes, I am not in the Riverland Roofing Studios, as long as I got the hat on my head and wherever I'm sitting, wherever I am physically, that is the Riverland Roofing Studios. So Riverland Roofing for all your roofing needs, 662-644-4297, riverlandroofing.com. And today I told Sudu about an hour, 2 hours ago when we were going to sit down and do this, man, like spring football practices are opening up. Like it's happening here.
They've already started for a lot of schools.
For a lot of schools. So I was like, man, why don't we just do like a whip around, kind of talk about main storylines. I mean, you see it now on your screen there. Alabama opened March 8th. Arkansas opens in 5 days. Auburn's March 17th. Florida's March 3rd. Georgia, March 17th. Kentucky, it just says March. These are from On Three's Pete Nakos. He's the man. That's my dude. And he compiled all these. LSU opens March 24th. Mississippi State the 17th. Missouri's already open. You've seen pictures probably. I don't know if you've seen this of Austin Simmons and Caden Lee. Have you seen this already?
No.
Buddy, hold on.
I was very much in tune with hoops and golf and UFC this weekend, so I missed a lot of stuff.
I don't know if I can find it, but it was a picture of him and Caden Lee as Missouri Tigers. And when I tell you it looks weird, buddy, it looks weird. It looks weird. I can't find it right now. Maybe I will when you start talking. Ole Miss open 23. They're already doing some practicing too. Oklahoma March 9th, which they've already opened. South Carolina's already open March 4th. Tennessee's March 16th. Texas opened yesterday. Texas A&M on the 20th and Vanderbilt on the 15th. I could go into the Big Ten as well, but right now we're fit. Like, I don't really care.
It's fine. It's fine. The only Big Ten school I really care about is Indiana, just because of Cignetti's like style of practicing. I want to see how many days they're spring, but it says TBD. So, also really funny. There was a McDonald's ad at the top of the screen while you were speaking into your McDonald's headset. It was hilarious. Now it's gone.
Yes,
but
Dakota King was like, "I need a number 7, large Sprite, medium fries." Yes, sir. That'll be 6. No, it'd probably be like $20 now. That'll be $17.84. We'll see you at the first window, please.
Dude, I swear, man, I get a 10-piece meal now, and I end up paying $15. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the point of fast food. Like, why would I even go anymore? You know?
I agree. I'm trying to find that picture. If I could find this picture, because y'all would love my setup right now. Y'all really would. Right now, I've got the computer set up on 2 super premium paper towel rolls, and I'm sitting in the hotel room with my, as Dakota King put up, my McDonald's headset. And so I'm doing the best I can. And so far, I can't find the Austin Caden Lee thing. I'm looking.
Well,
it'll trip you out if I do find it though.
Have you heard anything from your fellow On Threers on any how they're looking?
Well, I have talked to a few people. I mean, when it comes to Missouri, man, like they come to Oxford this season. It's actually a pretty big deal. You know, I mean, you got your former starting quarterback and one of the most beloved tenured Rebels during his time here in Caden Lee coming back into town. So that one I've heard a little bit about. I actually really like what they did this offseason at Missouri. I'm a big fan of Eli Drinkwitz as well, and I think Austin Simmons is going to be great at Missouri. I think that's the place we start is, in your opinion, when you think about Missouri, when you think about, if I can ever find this picture, Austin Simmons, Caden Lee, what they did in the offseason, that was one of the very first one, if not the first school to open up spring football practices. What is Sudu's read of Missouri in spring football, what you think they can be? Because we've talked kind of about the schedules and stuff like that. In terms of Ole Miss, which is a school I cover for the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate of On Three, this QR code right above my head, if you scan it today, new members can sign up and try the Ole Miss Spirit for 5 days for $1 before it switches to an annual sub. We'd love to have you at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate of On Three. But like, I think Missouri could be one of those sneaky surprise contenders for in the SEC this year. Not just because I'm very high on Austin Simmons, but just because the Bo Prabula thing, he got hurt, got banged up, didn't quite work. Now he's at Virginia. I really like Bo Prabula. I'm going to be honest with you, but I think Austin Simmons can be an improvement over him since they open first. What is like Sudu's takeaway from Missouri and what they could be, the Austin Simmons-led Missouri Tigers in 2026-27?
Yeah, I mean, as far as Austin's concerned, it's all about just putting it together for him, right? Like, we've all seen the talent. I last offseason said that he would be the most serious Heisman contender Ole Miss has had since Eli Manning. Like, I believed in that guy that much.
You did.
We know what he's capable of. Like, we know what that arm. And there were throws early in the season when he was the starter that he made that just had me like pretty pumped. You know what I mean? I was pretty geeked watching some of his throws early in the season. The only problem is it felt like he couldn't process the game fast enough, made some mistakes, right? And ultimately Trinidad came in. I think if he can build on that, Austin can be extremely special. Like my mindset on him hasn't changed. I know some people believe, well, you sat behind Dart for a few seasons and you weren't able to really entrench yourself as a true starter afterwards. Like you learned under this guy, whatever. So some people, like, weirdly, that I've had conversations with recently sound like they're sort of out on Austin, but I don't think he's done anything to indicate that, like, he won't be a good quarterback. Does he? How many years of eligibility does he have left? Is it two more? Two more.
Well, he has 2 more. If he does it right, if he does it the way he is intending, this will be his one and only year. That's right. What ideally you're trying to do.
But he does have another one, right? So
yeah,
I think and I think we talked about it pretty frequently on the pod. But if Austin would have started all through last year, like Trinidad wasn't an option for Ole Miss, I think his trajectory looks kind of like Arch's trajectory, where I think early in the season he's making a lot of mistakes. Ole Miss probably wins a few games, probably loses more than they ended up losing. But I think by the end of the season, we would have been looking at a quarterback going, hey, this guy's playing with a lot of confidence. Things are starting to click for him now. And then coming into this season, I think the hype would have been warranted. So I kind of teeter back and forth on whether he's just going to take that next step at Missouri next year, or if he's going to have this kind of up and down season where he'll show you flashes, but then he'll make some mistakes. And then the following season, if he does decide to come back, would be the payoff. But I like what they did in the portal. Obviously, they got Caden Lee. They got a couple linebackers from Miami. Chris Graves, I believe, went to Missouri as well. From Ole Miss. So, I mean,
he's wearing number 1 again. He switched 32 for number 1. That doesn't really mean anything to anyone. I saw it on the gram, and I was like, oh, good for you, Chris Graves. He's like, CG1 is back. I didn't know that CG1 existed. So, like, heck yeah, man, that's awesome. And, like, Chris Graves got better for Ole Miss last year. Yeah, he wasn't the shutdown corner opposite Antonio Kite that they hoped he would be in year 3 at Ole Miss, but he did get better. And I think that he's going to do some good things for Missouri. With what they have returning and with what they've added, where are you bullishness wise on Missouri as they get started here?
And they have Hardy coming back, obviously, right?
Yeah, dude.
So, as long as you have Ahmad Hardy, I mean, you're sitting pretty. You had a great weapon in Lee. I'm looking at the schedule right now, and it looks really manageable early on. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kansas, Troy, Mississippi State. So really, you should go 4-0 to start the season. It'll give Austin enough time to obviously, maybe make a couple mistakes and learn some things, having to play Arkansas and Kansas and Troy early on. And we'll see what Mississippi State looks like. They have some potential, but we'll see what that looks like. But then you play Florida. Now, that is at home. That'll be kind of the first real test for him. A&M, that's when kind of that grind starts. And I think we'll know maybe that Florida game. We'll definitely know by Texas A&M what they're going to look like. But it's Florida, A&M, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Texas, Georgia. I mean, it gets pretty hard for Missouri. This isn't just one of those standard Mizzou schedules we've seen in the last few years. It's just been kind of weak and watered down. They have some real challenges there. But yeah, man, I think by Texas A&M, we'll know. I don't know how bullish I am on them yet. I just really want to see how Austin has grown. And like I said, we'll know at least by the Florida game what they'll be capable of, I think.
All right, so let's start here. Let's run through it. Alabama, March 8th, they've opened the rundown of Alabama. We both like Keelon Russell. What's your breakdown of Alabama?
I think that's the big thing. And it is going to be Russell. Are we for sure?
Yeah, dude. Who else is going to be? Like, you don't invest that kind of time and effort. Like, Keelon Russell is going to be good, in my opinion. Like, I don't know what he's going to be this year.
Yeah. Let me
there's going to be some ups and downs, but like it's the Keelon Russell show, is it not?
Let me hold on. Who's the other kid there that I'm thinking of? The quarterback.
Oh, I'm still looking for the Caden Lee and Austin Simmons picture. I can't find it, man.
Does that even exist?
I'm looking, but you have to see it because, like, I thought that Caden would switch up. I really did. I thought Caden would switch up and go with a different number.
He's still rocking the 13.
Yeah, 19.
Or 19.
Austin, yeah, and
Austin's 13, rather.
Oh yeah. But I really wanted to.
Austin Mack. Austin Mack is the kid I'm thinking of. The supposedly supposed to be battling with Keelon Russell. So, no, I'm intrigued. I haven't really. I don't know what's going on. It just started right at Bama, but I'm definitely intrigued. You would think it'd be Russell. I think most people think it'll be Russell, but there is technically a QB battle, if I'm not mistaken.
Sure. Keelon Russell is going to be that dude. I mean, he was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school. He's the future of the program for Alabama. So outside of Keelon Russell in the question there, I see.
Because isn't Austin Mack? I think he's a DeBoer guy from Washington, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if that makes a difference.
All right. Didn't Ryan Williams change his name?
Did he?
Yeah, like Ryan Williams. He's wanting to honor his mom, so he added her maiden name with a dash.
He did, and a new number. Wow, When did this happen?
I'm saying. Maybe it's when he couldn't, last year was supposed to be Ron Williams.
Ryan Coleman Williams.
Okay.
Interesting. He's also going to be changing his number from 2 to 1 for the new season.
All right.
Why not?
Someone said, I was checking the chat, and Fred Wash said, it's on Twitter. Forgot to tag you, but I saw it, though. Yeah, I'm looking. I can't find it anywhere.
Their names obviously aren't working. Do we know what would Now you got me invested into this.
I'm saying if we could just find this,
it's like a scavenger
picture
hunt or something.
It really is, because I meant to save it. And if I'd have done some preparation for the show, any kind of preparation at all,
listen,
that'd have been good.
Listen, you're with your family. You don't have to apologize at all.
I hate it. All right, but Alabama. All right, Keelon Russell, Ron Williams changed his name. What do we like about Alabama? What do we? All right, look, we got to go through this in a very quick hitter type of way here. So
we always say this. You and I, we always say this.
We do. All right, so
we can't seem to do it.
The good, the bad, and the questionable for Alabama is what? The good.
The good. Let me pull up their depth chart, man. Let me pull up Bama's depth chart.
Thank you, Mary. It was rapid fire right there on my tongue, and it's like I hadn't done this for 20 years and hadn't said rapid fire a million times, and yet I got stuck. So Alabama, the good, the bad, and the questionable for the Crimson Tide. The questionable, I feel like Kalen DeBoer has to get to the playoff this year.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
If he doesn't, Alabama fans aren't gonna. They're not gonna sit well with it.
I was surprised that, I don't know. There was a little moment kind of toward the end there where I really thought DeBoer might leave for another job. Now I know that here's the thing, but also you don't leave Alabama voluntarily. You just can't do that. But also
you can, and I think it'd be kind of bad ace if he did. You know what I mean? It'd be who else has done that? That's why it would have been really intriguing to see Kalen DeBoer leave Alabama and go to Penn State. That would have been fascinating.
And what was really interesting was if Lincoln Riley had been let go by USC, or Riley had decided to make a move, that's the job I think that might have dictated what DeBoer would have done personally. Now, that would be wild, right? Leaving Alabama for USC. I guess Lane did it with Tennessee, but that'd be pretty wild. But it would make sense for DeBoer. Like Lane leaving Tennessee, it would kind of make sense, But I think the good, honestly, Ben, is the options at quarterback, whether it's Russell or Mack. Personally, I think they got two guys there that are going to be capable and keep things rolling along. Ty Simpson, was a phenomenal Bama quarterback. I know they've had a lot of good ones recently and probably won't be remembered as highly as maybe some of the others. But to go from that to having two options, two guys that have great arm talent and are seemingly athletic, I think that's a pretty good thing. The rest of the roster is just confused. I'm looking at this depth chart and I'm just a lot of questions. A lot of unknowns.
Well, the bad for me is last year, because I did actually do a little bit of homework. I'm not completely flying by the seat of my pants here. Yeah. Last year, Alabama couldn't run the ball. They were 125th in the country, and Ty Simpson got banged up. Ty Simpson was playing some of the best quarterback of anybody for a portion of the stretch of last year.
Yeah. And we were talking about him for Heisman. He genuinely was dealing with some stuff.
He was our dude. You and I were all in on Ty Simpson. Not the inability to run the ball, not having the same type of defense, Alabama defense that could make up for such a potentially fatal flaw. The inability to run the ball showed up. This is a big year for Kalen DeBoer for them, and that really wasn't addressed necessarily. We could go look at portal options and stuff like that, but they had it figured out, or they thought they did, pairing Hollywood Smothers with Keelon Russell, right? Then Hollywood Smothers decommits, and he goes and joins Texas and Arch Manning. So to me, that's the bad. Did you really adequately address enough your biggest problem area from last year, which was an un-Alabama-like inability to run the ball? That's the bad. So like the undecided is if they don't get to the playoff, what happens? I mean, to me, if they don't get to the playoff, Kalen DeBoer ain't going to be there next year. And that's crazy because Kalen DeBoer to me is a great coach, and he's going to always have you in the 9, 10, 11 win conversation. But that's the unknown. That's the questionable as far as the good, the bad for Alabama. Can they run the ball again? Arkansas has got a lot of bad. The question is, what's the good? The good is new. Ryan Silverfield is good because, like, anytime there's new, there's new. I mean, like, new is good. Not necessarily Ed Orgeron. Well, Ed Orgeron was good for Ole Miss as far as, like, compiling talent. You know what I mean? The best team ever assembled 2008, even though the record was 9-4, wouldn't indicate otherwise. But, man, that collection of talent, the best ever. So, like, new is new is new. You're never going to not new. The good is that Ryan Silverfield is here. They have a new beginning. I don't love the roster. So if you already start talking about the bad, man, the roster is just – it's hard to get excited about it. Give me your good, bad, and questionable for Arkansas, which opens on March 15th. So 5 days from now, their spring game is April 25th.
I mean, you're losing like a decorated quarterback in your, at least for your school. You know what I mean? Taylor, a guy who is kind of getting the Anthony Richardson treatment, but I think he actually has a little more to go off of than Richardson did during the draft. This is a guy who could end up becoming, I don't know, something special in the league. So you're losing somebody like that. And there's a lot of new. The bad is what you just said. Just there's nothing to really go off of at the moment. They get you super excited about what this team could be. The schedule's hard. The good, yes, is just the fact that things are different. You have hope. You know, anytime a new coach comes in, there's hope. They have their new monikers and slogans, and you know, Ryan Silverfield's changing the light bulbs in the building. You know what I mean? There's like little fun things to go off of. Like
fun. It's fun.
It's fun. I know you may not know why, but yeah, we're taking care of every detail, including the light bulbs in the building. You know, like, so your coach tells you that, and you're just like, oh, all right, we'll buy into that.
Sure. Well, here's the bad. All right, Taylor Green, for all of his flaws as a quarterback, if you saw he tested at the combine, to take that, to not be able to do anything of consequence with that piece of clay, to me is more of a coaching indictment than a player indictment. Because I think Taylor Green does have some juice to him. Do I think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback? I don't. But as far as his career trajectory, he never really became more than what he was over his Arkansas career. Yeah. So that tells me more than anything else, it was less a lack of quality in terms of the most important positions on the field than it was the coach. I like Sam Pittman. Best offensive line coach, one of the best offensive line coaches ever, in my opinion. Head coach, no. So Ryan Silverfield immediately adds legitimacy that it otherwise didn't have because he did it at Memphis. And Memphis is historically not a place where you can do it at. The question is quarterback. So the bad is, all right, who replaces then Taylor Green, who with all of those physical attributes, the talent that he has, you still couldn't win nothing with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who replaces that? Is it KJ Jackson? Is it the Memphis transfer, AJ Hill? It's typically hard in the first year for a transfer or for a new coach in the transfer heavy era of the NIL. It's usually pretty hard to, like, you can't expect Arkansas to all of a sudden turn around and go make a playoff run. Yeah. No. But, like, could they sneak up on some people? Well, it all starts with quarterback, right? Yeah. And then the skill positions, like, I'm not in love with much of their roster. Like, there's not a bunch of their roster that jumps out at me. Like, Auburn is different. The good with Auburn is that I really like Alex Golesh. If they actually give him some time, like Byron Brown stepping in, he did it at the G5 level. That is Sudu's dude. The good is that you got the Alex Golesh, Byron Brown. The questionable for them is how that translates to the SEC. Is Byron Brown an SEC quarterback? Arkansas doesn't have that kind of conundrum.
I mean, he did it against some SEC defenses. So I think that's where the excitement with Brown is. It's not like he's just, played a bunch of nobodies. Like but bro, you got a 9-game SEC schedule. Can you do it 9 times on top of what you have in the non-con?
right? So like Byron Brown's got a lot to prove, and he's got the chip on his shoulder, and he stepped up a level. But like that one, I'm more bullish on what Auburn could be over Arkansas, based almost exclusively on the fact that Byron Brown, like if you got a trigger man who's got some tenure to him, that's about that. Like you can't ask for a better starting place. You can't.
Yeah.
So where Arkansas, you're like, okay, will it be AJ Hill? Will it be KJ Jackson that replaces Taylor Green? Like Auburn, in my opinion, has a more settled quarterback situation than even Alabama. We don't know what Keelon Russell is yet, but we know what Byron Brown can do at the G5 level. The question is, can he take the next step to the Power 5 level? Like I bet you Alex Golesh did the whole push for him, saying, hey, yo, you're going to be like Cam Ward. Going from incarnate word, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're going to have that kind of impact. We're going to make you 1-1 in I don't see that. But I in terms of like who could surprise of those teams that are still trying to figure it out, Auburn to me, which opens on March 17th, Auburn could be pretty fun. They could be pretty fun.
I think they're going to take a step in the right direction. I mean, the end of the Freeze era was pretty atrocious there, right? So, there's a lot of familiarity. Golesh is bringing some of his guys as well. I like him. I had some questions. I'm like, is he an SEC guy? Like I used to think that when his name came up for different coaches, especially for Ole Miss, I was like, does he really fit Ole Miss? And then I remember, I said this at the time, but like he was Heupel's guy the year that they had that historic offense with Hendon Hooker. And then he left the job and then made USF, relevant. So I think he can certainly do it at the SEC level. If there was a job in the SEC for Golesh, Auburn actually, I don't know, for some reason that felt like the right fit. Arkansas would have made sense too, but Auburn more so than ever to me now makes sense. I'm like, I hear his press conferences and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that is a good fit for him. Auburn has
Ole Miss had interest in him, in him,
and I just felt like I just don't know,
I like the Auburn fit better than Ole Miss for Alex Golesh.
100%. And so he's only proven to be a winner everywhere he's been, man. So and he's got his quarterback, the guy familiar with his system. Yeah, I think Auburn's going to be better. They're going to take a step in the right direction.
All right, Florida opened on March 3rd. The good, the bad, and the questionable for Florida. What's the good?
Cooking. What's the good?
Shaden Baugh.
What's the good? I
wonder if it's Shaden Baugh. You'll love this. So I started another. I play NCAA 2025 college football. I still play it to this day. I have fun with it. Like it's the easiest turn off your brain thing to do. And recently, usually what I've done is I start out, transfer somewhere, start as a true freshman, ball out, then I transfer somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll just go to Ole Miss. It's the SEC. It's Trinidad. It's gone. Well, Trinidad's back. So I had to come up with a new place to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not going to LSU. Not going to Alabama. Not going to Arkansas. I went to Florida. All right.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that Ben Garrett and Shaden Baugh are a deadly combo, friend, they are a deadly combo. And Shaden Baugh, every time I hand that man the ball and he breaks like 8 tackles, all I can think is, dang. Look at my guy. Look, it looks like Sudu called that man. You know what I mean? Called that man from Jump Street, bro. You've been on the Shaden Baugh bandwagon for as long as there's been one. And now that man, if we're going to start with goods for Florida, one, John Sumrall, I think, is going to do good work. I like John Sumrall.
You're forgetting it's not just Shaden Baugh, buddy. It's Buster Faulkner is now the OC.
Oh, yeah.
That's really what this is about.
Dude, this might be like your Sudu's guys for 2026. Like Florida might be your group, dude. They're your non-Ole Miss group here.
They're
Georgia, because you love Georgia, you worship at the altar of Kirby Smart.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I will say I think they're an exciting team to me. They bring back a lot. They added Eric Singleton, who was non-existent at Auburn a year ago. Now he gets to reunite with Buster, who brought out his best potential at Georgia Tech. They get Vernell Brown back, I believe is his name, the receiver that kind of
number 8
out on the scene.
How do I know that? Because man, he absolutely burnt up Miami of Ohio. I was just dropping bombs, just dime time to Vernon, man, like dime time. It's killing it.
So you got him, Shaden Baugh. Obviously, you got a
Dallas Wilson
runner, Dallas Wilson, right? Defense. Jaden Woods is back. Aaron Childs is back at linebacker. So you're getting this, I don't know if we're quite ready to call Sumrall an elite defensive coach, but he's one of the better ones in the country. That's why he's the head coach there. So you get Sumrall. And then on offense, you get Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech, a guy Buster Faulkner wanted to start over Haynes King because Philo can actually throw the football. He's not just, a runner. He can actually throw it. You pair that up with Ball and the receivers that you have and the other additions they brought in from Georgia Tech and Tulane, they're going to probably take one of the bigger jumps in the SEC next year. They will beat somebody they're not supposed to next year. Florida,
dude, I can see Florida winning 8 or 9.
I can too. Like not to compare it to our favorite Ole Miss team as we've discovered in the last few weeks, but we could see a Orgeron to Nut kind of leap for Florida.
I'm saying 2008-ish Ole Miss.
Yeah, because the talent is certainly there, and now you have, in my opinion, the coaching staff that can really bring that out. So yeah, like there were a lot of questions about, well, is going with Sumrall not the same thing as hiring Napier, right? Like some people were like, you're basically hiring a coach from a similar level. Where I think this is different is I think Sumrall has proven that he is probably better, more elite based on the stops he's had even prior to becoming the head coach at Tulane. And then once again, I cannot say this enough. I will never let anybody forget Buster Faulkner is going to be one hell of a head coach one day. And that guy's the OC.
Where did Buster Faulkner come from? He went to Georgia Tech, and it's the Georgia connections. It's always Georgia. You're like friggin', it's fine. At the end of the day,
it's like my scouting territory. You know how back in the day, like,
Prime,
like in On 3, 247, whatever, you had your like little territory.
Primary recruiting territory. Yes. Yeah. It's about the quarterback. John Sumrall has never lost. I've never won less than 9 games in his career as a head coach. Yeah. Not to say they're going to win 9 games next year, but I really do like the roster, even more so than like Auburn, who I think it's surprised because Auburn doesn't have Cam Coleman anymore. But you kind of like hit what I was getting at here. Like what's to be determined is quarterback play. That's it. Like, because if you look at the surrounding, the good is the skill players, the surrounding cast.
Yeah.
The good is John Sumrall wins.
Yeah.
The bad is what it's been for the last handful of years. And like, did they do enough? I think they've got enough to win 8 or 9 games next year if their quarterback play is up to the snuff. I'm with you. I'm a big Buster Faulkner guy. He's got future SEC head coach.
Thank you for coming around on Buster.
But and like you call that, like, and I think you're right on. He is barreling towards becoming an SEC head coach. All right, and if it starts at Florida and it starts this year, oh dude, he's gonna be fast tracked. Like he could start getting interviews next year, right?
Yeah. So I was ready to give him the job at Ole Miss.
You really were.
You're like, we're not hiring Georgia Tech's OC. I was like, you don't understand.
But that's the thing, though. You don't do that. But you also hired your DC. I don't know.
You hired a great coach, and you should be happy. But at the time,
and I will say, Ole Miss had interest in Buster Faulkner to be their OC.
Yeah,
they had some interest. John Sumrall's not dumb either. So, like, there's a lot to like about what Florida.
There is a world, Ben. Not to just cut you off here, but this is the point.
You didn't jump into a Spirit Ben Twitch stream. I am in Orlando with the family. I've taken them to Universal tomorrow and Thursday. This is my travel McDonald's headset. So if you like a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit McGriddle this morning,
right now,
dude, right? Like
I've had a cup of coffee. That's it.
I hadn't had nothing, and my wife and kids, they went and got them like some Starbucks and some McDonald's. I'm like, damn, y'all. Emily goes, "Do you want anything?" And of course, I do the dad thing. I say, "No, I'm good." But you kind of have like. In your heart of hearts, you're hoping. You know what I mean? You're hoping that like they bring you something back.
Why don't you just say you want something, bro?
I want them to want to get me something.
Oh my!
You're
like my ex.
I want them to.
Dude. This is unbelievable.
He just called me his ex-girlfriend, y'all. Can y'all believe that? My thanks to B&A Bank, to Drew Moak of USA Benefits Group, 601-953-8449 for all your health insurance needs. 601-953-8449 is Drew Moak of USA Benefits Group. quoteswithdrew.com. And also I want to say thank you to our friends at C-Spire, who we're going to hear from right now.
Bye, babe. Let's get to work.
Advanced technology to accelerate business growth. There's more to see.
Start my weekend.
C-Spire. Customer inspired.
And don't forget about my friends Riverland Roofing.
Protecting homes and businesses from the whims of nature. You need more than just quality materials. You require Riverland Roofing. Licensed, insured, and certified, Riverland Roofing offers not only the assurance of excellence, but a tailored approach to your unique structural needs and budget. To learn more about what Riverland Roofing can do for you and the community, call them at 662-644-4297 or visit riverlandroofing.com.
And Fred Walsh wants to know, what's the weather like in Florida right now? Well, right now it's sunny. On Thursday when we go to Epic, which is apparently because I'm not a Universal person. Like, we've always gone to Disney World. Disney World's insane, by the way. Like, money-wise. All of it's insane. like, my guy Dakota's like, On 3 paying well. Listen, On 3, I love what the place I work for. I'm thankful to Shannon Terry, but buddy, it took a minute for your boy to save up just to take him to this place. All right, it took a minute. Well, I'm married to a third-grade math teacher, and I'm a sports writer, folks. It ain't like we millionaires, but God has blessed us. I'm thankful to be here in Orlando. And if you want to support me, you want to continue to support everything we're doing. Yes, the off season in basketball. They got the SEC tournament coming up. They play on Wednesday. I expect that season to end on Wednesday or Thursday. If they make it to Friday, hell, they'll have exceeded any and all expectations. We're talking about all of it. Baseball, football, spring football for Ole Miss is coming up. That's what we're touching on right now. We're at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate of On 3. Sudu's there too. The problem with Sudu is that he's a pretentious twat.
Why do we do this every week? Why do we do this every week?
Because you don't ever talk. So if you go to the Ole Miss Spirit, scan this QR code. New members can sign up today for $1. Try us out for 5 days, and then it switches to an annual. And y'all make sure
I've never been called a pretentious twat on a live stream before. That's a new one for me.
You know, there's always time for new things. There's always time to try new things. You pretentious twat. Maybe like y'all can shame him. Yeah, Mary's right. So he's always lurking, but he's never talking. I'm just asking him to talk every once in a while. All right, so Florida, where the problem is Sudu is always high. He's not. The problem is he thinks he's just better than me and my friends at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com. He's got a comp account. All he's got to do is talk to us.
I'm on there at least twice a week on the off season. Okay, and
twice a week.
All your stuff. I read all your stuff
twice a week. Twice a week.
I'm talking about the.
It's not enough.
I read all your.
It's not sufficient. Benny. It's not sufficient. I want you to talk. I want you to be on there, and I want you talking, and you just won't do it. It drives me insane.
Sometimes I got nothing to say, man.
What do you mean you got nothing to say? All anybody ever wants to hear is what you have to say, you dummy. Anyway, all right, moving on to Georgia. This is I'm going to give you all of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly, or not the ugly, the undecided, the undetermined for Georgia. Camp opens on March 17th. Spring game camp ends April 18th. Give me the rundown, the good, the bad, and the yet to be determined for one Georgia. The good is it's Kirby Smart. It's Gunnar Stockton. You're going to be good again. You're going to push for 10 wins. What's the bad, if anything, and what's the undecided?
Well, I think you do have to replace a lot. You lose some offensive linemen. You obviously on defense, you lose some linebackers, a guy like CJ Allen, who's been a leader. The thing with Georgia is, like, we say this, but there's so much talent there. They're still one of those teams. Bama has even taken a step back in that regard. But Georgia still has just so much talent that they continue to get from the high school level that, I don't necessarily know what the bad really is for this team.
I do. It's not the same Georgia quality pass rush. It's been like that for a little while now.
Well, I mean, you're not
that. Rolling with Nolan Smith and the Kobe Dean. It's not quite the same.
Well, you say that, but meanwhile, Elijah Griffin is now a sophomore. You know what I mean?
But he's just now stepping into a starting role.
Quintavious Johnson. Well, he got hurt a year ago, but this guy's a monster. Quintavious Johnson still there. Is Raylan a senior? I think Raylan might be a senior now. You bring back the best safety in the country. Jonel Aguero's an Ole Miss Rebel now. Oh no, you're not talking. You're not talking about KJ Bolden. Yeah, the best free safety in the nation.
What do you think of Jonel Aguero, by the way?
Jonel's a really hard hitter. I like his intensity, his physicality. Really hard hitter.
What about? But I didn't hear you say anything about his coverage ability.
Oh, what did you? Is that something you're interested in with Jonel? Is his ability to in pass coverage?
He's going to be a starting safety for your Ole Miss football Rebels.
He's going to be a starting safety. We know that for a fact.
I mean, it's him and Edwin Joseph, and he signed 5 transfer defensive back. Sharif Denson's a versatile corner safety. You think Jonel could be a problem area for Ole Miss with his inability to cover?
We'll see. Like new
Speak
system,
with your chest.
New system. Obviously, new coaching staff for him. We'll see what that looks like. So, Sudu scarred from all the writing. I didn't really do too much writing when I worked for Ben. I was the video guy.
The charmed existence this jerk lived. Like and I'm asking him to come on once a day and make 3 posts, and he can't do that.
Three posts.
Three
posts
reply
a day.
Reply. 3 times. It could take you 5 minutes.
I don't have that many thoughts.
Unbelievable.
No, but I think there's enough talent. Then you add Khalil Barnes from Clemson. It's just Georgia, man. They're just going to be Georgia again. They'll be anywhere from a 9 to a 11 win team, in my opinion, next year in the regular season, and then we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But
Kentucky opens in March. Pete Nekos didn't have it.
We don't know when that is.
When the Will Stein era, which in my opinion, like for all the new hires.
Yeah.
As far as I love what Will Stein could be. I don't know what he is. That's the not like the undetermined, right?
Yeah.
We don't know yet. But as far as on paper, if you're taking a bet on upside, I love what Will Stein could be. But this is a guy coming from Oregon, learned under Dan Lanning, who my affinity for Dan Lanning, but he was the quarterback coach, the quarterback guru, offensive coordinator for Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel, Dante Moore. It's still wild to me that Dylan Raiola gave up a starting job in Nebraska to go sit behind Dante Moore at Oregon.
Yeah.
It's still insane to me. Like, dude, Dylan Raiola could have gone to Kentucky and started under Will Stein. Like, he would have been a great, great fit there. They have offensive talent. I like Kenny Mincy from Notre Dame, what he could be. He flipped from Nebraska like 24 hours after committing to Nebraska. And they also went after offensive linemen in the portal. There's still a lot to determine offensively. The bad is, Kentucky historically has been a tough, challenging place to win consistently at. Do you have enough defensive talent? But, man, I like what Kenny Mincy could be. I'm looking at this team thinking 6, 7, 8 wins. Things need to fall their kind of way. But what's your good, bad, and undetermined for Kentucky?
Well, I think the good is the change, is to getting a guy like Stein. There's excitement, there's buy-in, they're spending money. And then what he did in the portal. I think the additions that they made in the portal were key for them to start this new era on the right foot. I mean, just the depth they added, or the bodies they added, especially at offensive line. I mean, guys like Lance Hurd and Tishabola, I believe, is the kid from Ohio State. They added C.J. Baxter in the backfield. I mean, they just all over. Like they added talent pretty much all over that team. Jordan Castile from Florida. Like there's some kids that Ole Miss was going after. You mentioned Kenny Minchie. So I think that's a big deal. But as with any time you bring in a new coach, especially a program that maybe didn't have the best year the season before, there's just going to be a lot of questions on how all of this comes together. Like, is Minchie going to be what we think he's going to be? Who was the kid that they got a few years ago at quarterback? Kentucky did. This is after what's his name?
I can't get over Derek Vandegrift. Brock? Ole Miss. Brock Vandegrift, sorry.
Yeah.
And why'd I call him Derek? Brock Vandegrift.
Brock Vandegrift, yeah.
This man beat Ole Miss and essentially retired from football from not being good at football anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I could look at this Kentucky roster with Will Stein, who I like a lot, and see a future, see a path. Yeah. You had plateaued under Stoops. You had reached the point of, like, is this going to get any better? No. It's what it is. And for Kentucky, historically, that was as good as it's ever been. I think Will Stein could take you to another place. Do I think next year they're going to be pushing to really compete in the SEC? No. But I do think that Will Stein can make it interesting. And if he does what I think he can do, he's going to be hard for Kentucky to hold on to, especially if he surprises in year 1 or 2 and, like, takes Kentucky and wins 9-10 games somehow. Not this year.
Well, it'll be interesting. Kentucky does have resources. They just don't historically put them towards football. But with Stein, they have at least committed to doing so, at least the first year, right? So if that continues, not that that means anything, and we saw that with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Eventually, some guys just want to take jobs at traditional quote-unquote powerhouses. But you never know. They could. I mean, if he builds something, builds his own niche, and he wants to stay, he could. But I look at the schedule. I mean, it's really hard in year one to think that they're going to make like that much noise off the rip. But they could beat some teams. I mean, they have Bama at home. They have to go to College Station. At South Carolina, maybe that's one that they could get. LSU at home. Vandy won't be the same Vandy. We'll see what Tennessee looks like, their quarterback situation. Mizzou, Louisville, like there's chances to get some more wins on that schedule. But I like Stein and I like what he's been able to build early on, but I just have a general question mark on Kentucky because I really don't know what to expect from all of this, like if it'll all come together. With Florida, like the reason I'm so sure on them is I just know what they're bringing in and I know the guys that are in charge. In this case, it feels
you're in love with Buster Faulkner
and Sumrall. There was a world, Ben, where Ole Miss could have gotten Buster, Sumrall, and kept Golding. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think that's completely true.
No, I mean, listen.
I don't think if Ole Miss in the day, like I don't think Pete would have ever rolled with, like he wouldn't have followed Lane to LSU.
But Pete's the one who said himself, he's like, I wasn't even expecting to get this head coaching job. I was going to be here regardless. Those are Pete's words. He didn't say he was going to leave, right? Like
I would have been curious to see.
Yeah.
Had John Sumrall, who they really, really wanted, had he taken the Ole Miss job, how that would have worked out with Pete. I don't know if that would have worked out.
We'll never truthfully know. Just go off of what he said, right? And his plan was to stay at Ole Miss. So based on that, you could have had Sumrall, you could have had Pete and Buster.
Bless you.
Thank you. You like how quickly I muted that, huh? That's pretty
quickly.
Impressive.
It was.
But that was a world that could have existed. But yeah, all three of those guys are going to be remarkable at their jobs. So regardless, I just have more of a
the odds say they're not all going to be remarkable, but I appreciate you like them all and what they could be at their respective places, and I like that. All right, LSU, the good, the bad, and the undecided. The good, $40 million for a roster will buy you contention, should buy you contention immediately. The bad, I'll let you tell me the rest of it. I'm trying to, here's the bottom line. With a $40 million roster, you go 8-4 this year, they ain't going to be happy. You go 9-3 this year, most will be fine with it. Some will still say, well, wait a second, $40 million. All right. Lane Kiffin has to win now. The bad is the expectation. The bad is buddy, there's no taking the 2024 Ole Miss roster and going 9-3 at LSU. They'll run you out of town. That's the bad. I don't really believe in Sam Leavitt. That's for me what needs to be decided. Look, I can't get past him losing to Mississippi State. I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think he to me that's like the biggest questions are going to be around him. Like everybody's already kind of crowned him as like, oh God, Sam Leavitt, best quarterback in the portal. Lane Kiffin's got something rolling with him. And I look at Sam Leavitt, I'm like, yeah, he's shown flashes. Like if you go back and watch some of his film I watched a really good breakdown on him the other day. And my impressions coming off of that is kind of a one-read quarterback. Leavitt. And you saw a lot of that against Mississippi State, just chunking these balls up. Great scrambler, really good at buying time. That's going to work well in a Kiffin system, but he's not necessarily I think sometimes he gets considered as like a dual threat, and he's not really a runner. He just buys time. He's really good shifting in the pocket. And I just don't think he's accurate all the time, but then he'll make these insane throws under pressure. Like he'll be under pressure and make just an absolute dot. And then the very next play, it's an easy throw, just sails above his receiver's head. So he's just really inconsistent. Maybe that changes with Kiffin. Like he is a bit of a quarterback guru, as we know. I think after the playoffs, I think I have a little more respect for Charlie Weiss as well. I think they can make a lot of different quarterbacks, despite their deficiencies, look good in their system. But
they're quarterback whisperers. I'll give them that 100%, man. Like he's going to be the best version of himself.
And I think that.
I just don't know if I'll buy the best version of Sam Leavitt for like a national championship contender. I just don't.
I just don't know.
Exactly. Words, which is fine. Get after it, young buck. I hope you do.
Yeah, I have nothing. I like Levitt. Like, he was an exciting player to watch, especially the year at a couple years ago with Scadaboo and everything. That team was fun. But I just don't know. Yeah, if in like a pressure filled playoff situation, if I'm sitting here, wanting Sam Levitt to be my quarterback. That's why they went after Trinidad and other guys so hard, Damon Williams and all those guys. The other thing,
I love this from William. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, what were you saying? Go ahead.
I like what William brought up. All right. Here's a good way to think about it. Would you take Sam Levitt over Trinidad Chambliss? No. Would you take Sam Levitt over Arch Manning? No. Would you take him over Gunnar Stockton? No. John Mateer?
Yeah. John Mateer, that's a territory I'd say. Yeah, I think it's about the same. I think you have two complete unknowns and inconsistent guys. Maybe Mateer's more inconsistent, though, than Levitt.
Would you take Byron Brown or Sam Levitt?
I'd take Byron Brown.
Would you take Austin Simmons?
I'd take Levitt right now, just based on experience.
I like the Marcel Reed erasure after the bad start in the playoffs. Like, I think Marcel Reed, I don't know how you could rank him any lower than, like, I would put him above Byron Brown, Austin Simmons, Sam Levitt. Like, he's actually done it in this league. Yeah. There was a time now those wins become meaningless because of the performance in the playoff. But, like, I would put Marcel Reed up there.
I would easily
before them.
I think he's earned enough respect to be right after Stockton.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Four seems a little rich, but yeah.
Finishing up on it's like, yeah, $40 million roster, incredible additions to the portal. But I also think they overvalued some of these guys. So, like, they're getting some love, like, 4-star, whatever, top edge rusher, Prince Will, Amon Miel. And it's like, no, I think he's awesome. I think Prince Will has the chance to really grow into something special next year. But, I mean, as of right now, it's like, yeah, he's good. Like, but is he the best in the country? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he takes that next step. I certainly don't feel that about TJ Daugherty, who they added, and I think they're really high on. I'm like, yeah, he's fine. Like, TJ's good, but some of these guys I think are getting a little too hyped for LSU, and I think Levitt's kind of in that territory as well. So,
would you take Kamario Taylor or Sam Levitt? Sam Levitt.
Taylor's
Sam Levitt.
But Taylor's potential, man.
Yeah, but right now you're taking Sam Levitt.
Yeah, you probably would have to take Sam Levitt, but man, if I'm
buying the stock, I'm going to buy it in Kamario Taylor.
Yeah, he's got like Taylor Green type potential to me. You know what I mean? Just could be just a total like unicorn type QB. Yeah, I guess you would take Levitt right now, though. That's fair.
That's like the State. Like, they opened March 17th. The good is that they look like a team that was ascending before it all fell apart. They're 4-0 last year. They beat Sam Levitt in Arizona State. They had Texas beat and just absolutely flopped it. They did some pretty good work in the portal. The good is I think they do have a quarterback that they can be excited about in Kamario Taylor. Got some skill position players that I really like. The bad is that State's still kind of in the same spot it was when this NIL era started. You know what I mean? Like, it is to be determined if Jeff Lebby can ever turn the corner there. At some point, regardless of how competitive you are, if you're not getting results, I mean, it only ends one way. But I think State's shown some progression. What would be success for State this year? Just 7 wins? Would that be considered like really? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 or 7 wins, dude. I mean, I don't
106th in defensive scoring last year. As in, like, they gave up. Yeah, they were 106. Zach Garnett takes over, defensive coordinator, former Ole Miss analyst, formerly their head coach in Starkville.
Yeah.
Like, it's I feel like this is it's boom or bust. Either Jeff Lebby wins 7 games and they go, oh, see, we were just waiting, or it just goes as it's going. He gets fired. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think 7. That includes a bowl win too.
Yeah.
It's just things are not great down there. I don't even make fun of Mississippi State anymore. I just feel really bad that they're not more competitive. I mean, it's more fun when State is somewhat competitive.
I don't know. It's pretty fun not to have to wake up and think about like State every day.
No, but when have you ever really had to do that outside of when Mullen was being an asshole? And,
the Leo Lewis years were in the NCAA.
Trying to like burn down a program and ruin kids' lives. But outside of that, I mean, competitively, like one of you really had to worry that. I mean, I guess like there have been some pretty intense Egg Bowls throughout the years, but it's never been like, big bad Mississippi State or anything. Maybe outside of a couple years where they sort of
the offensive line. I think the like one of the things they got to determine is their offensive line. Like they really hit that hard in the portal. Just what
they did. They got some good additions, man. Who's the kid Ole Miss wanted really bad that they ended up with? Was it Mario?
Oh,
Nash?
the kid. Well, Mario Nash from Florida State, but there's the kid from Tyler Miller from LSU.
Miller,
who they wanted. Like he's gonna. I like him. He's gonna step in and start. We've already touched on Missouri. All right, Oklahoma. The good, the bad, and the undecided. The good is John Mateer. You got a trigger man who's tenured and he's actually healthy again. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's where it starts for them. Give me the Oklahoma breakdown.
I'm so far removed from Oklahoma, brother. I don't even know where to start with them. They got Parker Livingstone. How's a good addition? The kid from Texas, the wide receiver. I'm trying to think of who all they even bring back. And here's the thing about Mateer. It's like, they get Mateer, but is Mateer going to take that next step, do we think? Like, is Mateer...
I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge Oklahoma believer this year. Just not.
Yeah.
Like, nothing about them excites me.
I agree.
It was different when we thought John Mateer last year was becoming a Heisman candidate.
Right.
I just don't think that they hit enough in the portal to be all that much better. I mean, you got the trigger man. That's the good.
Too. I was like, they didn't really do much in the portal that gets you like really excited. And as you know, these days, like that's one of the bigger parts of the offseason is who you bring in through the portal. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there are some stars we just don't know. Maybe they have some high school kids that haven't emerged just quite yet. But
like I said, John Mateer was hurt last year, and before he got hurt, he was playing some really good football. So, it's the John Mateer show for Oklahoma. There's some upside there. The bad is that I just don't think they did enough in the portal. I don't think they got enough dynamicism in the portal to really take a step and be a playoff team. But I feel like John Mateer is going to be a good player. Jeffrey Arnold says I feel like Oklahoma hit that ceiling last year with Mateer. I can see it too. I can see like a redux of last year in a lot of ways. Ole Miss, the good is you had one of the best portal classes. The bad. And you also signed some really good high school players that you're excited about. Pete Golding and this staff. I mean, they signed 13 defensive transfers with over 6,000 snaps over their careers combined. A lot of veterans for the defense and the back end, especially. That's the side of the ball that really held you back last year. After 2024, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin decided that. Yeah, we're not going to have that anymore. We didn't have enough offense. Well, it had more to do with it was less to do with the lack of skill players that you had than your own ineptitude in that particular year. Only one time in 2024 did the Ole Miss offense outperform its projected total in all areas. So if you're Ole Miss defensively for a team that won 13 games, you addressed everything you needed to. The good is you got two Heisman candidates in Trinidad Chambliss and Keewan Lacey. The determined is the wide receiver room, the pass catchers. You lost Daquan Wright. Luke Haas steps in. He's healthy finally. Can Jonte Cook and Darryl Gill and Caleb Cunningham, can they make up for the lost production of DeJon Stribling, Caden Lee, Harrison Wallace? You got Deuce Alexander back. I mean, Ole Miss is a 10-win contending team again. If they're not, they fell short. So if the good, there's a lot of good. The bad for Ole Miss was just, I don't know. I would probably go offensive tackle, but it's not necessarily bad if Tommy Kinsler steps up for you. To be determined is what it looks like under Pete Golding instead of Lane Kiffin, JDB at offensive coordinator instead of Charlie Weiss. If they were the head coach and offensive coordinator, you go, oh yeah, they're about to win 10 games again, go to the playoff again. So you still keep those expectations, but the determined is what it's going to look like under Pete Golding. But there was a lot of good. So Ole Miss, we cover that all the time. They open on March 23rd. Spring game camp ends April 30th. My thanks to C-Spire, who sponsors us, as well as many others, man. You've heard all about them, including Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge, Jeep Ram of Oxford. For your next car, truck, or Jeep, call them at 662-234-8000, 662-234-8000. Allen Samuels, Oxford.com. South Carolina, give me the good, the bad, and the undetermined.
Well, I had some thoughts about Ole Miss. I know you do it on a daily basis. Is that okay? Do I have your permission to speak on Ole Miss?
Well.
Is that okay? Or should I just wait? Should I just wait to post it on the message boards?
I mean, that would actually be something to look forward to. You're actually coming to the message board and talking to. That would actually be a change of pace. You actually want to see somebody. I don't know. Talk to somebody.
That's why we do this here, and then the word travels to the message boards.
Okay. All right.
No, everything you said, I agree with. I was just messing with you. Yeah, Ole Miss is in a great position. Obviously, offensive line, I have questions about. We'll see what that tackle spot looks like. Receivers, I'm very confident in, but they have to prove themselves. Obviously, the most intrigue for me is defense. How much better is that defense going to look? Because if it's just a couple of notches better than last year, paired with this offense, hopefully with all the additions working out, could be something special. But I want an elite defense again.
So Sudu's saying make Ole Miss's defense great again. That's what he's saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Sudu, pin the board to your desktop. I agree. Tackle is that I don't know if Kerry's Kern. I think Kerry's Kern is the favorite to start right tackle for Ole Miss right now. I think in an ideal world he's an interior offensive lineman, so we'll see how that holds up. And that would be the one. And I hesitate to say bad, but that is the one real question mark in my opinion for them. As far as South Carolina. Depending on how you ask, Lenore Sellers coming back is a good or a bad, maybe an undetermined.
Yeah, we'll see.
South Carolina's in that place where Beamer's got to win. They don't win this year. Have you looked at their numbers, by the way? Their SEC numbers? They're 9 and so. I mean, it's something crazy.
Yeah.
SEC hasn't. I mean, South Carolina has not been competitive in the SEC, last year was a colossal disappointment.
Yeah, and he blamed it on his OC. They hired Kendall Briles. Maybe that makes him a little more dynamic coming into the year. Sellers obviously had a woeful season compared to the expectations coming into the year, but we've seen the flashes. So maybe being paired with Briles brings Sellers back. I don't think Sellers has just became a bad quarterback. I definitely think he was a little overhyped for sure, but he's shown us enough flashes for us to think that, he can maybe take a step up again. They were 4-8 a year ago. Do we think they're going to be better? I'd have to look at their schedule. Some good additions, though. I mean, they got Jacarius Peak, who is he hurt? Did we say
he's
that?
hurt? He's hurt. Right? That's the problem. He got hurt and hurt his leg real bad. And I think he could be out for the year. I'm not looking at it right now, but that was their biggest portal addition, Jacarius Peak, and to lose him hurts. I think of all these teams we've talked about, the one that I'm most cynical about, one of South Carolina. I do not see it with South Carolina. I don't see it with Tennessee either. Tennessee, the bad is you don't have a quarterback. You're going the old way. You're having a full-on quarterback battle, right? Joey Aguilar is not coming back. For me, it's a prove-it year both for Beamer and for Josh Heupel. Both of them need really big years. Yeah. Tennessee, it's going to be hard. I just don't see where you're going to get that from because you got freshman George McIntyre, 2 freshmen, George McIntyre and Faison Brandon battling to be your starting quarterback.
Yeah,
I just don't see it with Tennessee next year.
If McIntyre wins the job and shows enough. He could be special. I mean, this is a highly talented kid. Top 10 pocket passer coming out of high school. Was a Nashville kid. I think he played a little bit a year ago. And then Faison was also a top kid in the class of 2026. But Heupel to me is good enough to where they can put. I mean, the fact that Aguilar even was as good as he was a year ago, I think speaks to what Heupel can do. Did they get a new DC? They got
Jim Knowles, man. That's what I was about to get to.
Right?
I do love that because I think Jim Knowles is awesome.
They got Jim Knowles. They added Chaz Coleman. I think they got in a couple other Penn State guys, a good edge or a good safety as well. They remade their entire secondary, which they needed to do. So they're losing a lot there. But I think with Knowles there and the talent they added in the portal, defense, honestly, will probably take a step in the right direction. It's really dependent upon their quarterback play. If G-Mac ends up being the guy and he's solid. I mean, we were 8-5 this year. And there was a point of the season where if they could have gotten that win over Georgia, like their kicker gets the field goal and they get that upset, their season could have taken a different turn. Like momentum is a real thing in college football.
That's fair.
It really could have. And so as long as Heupel's the coach there, I'm never going to discount Tennessee. To me, they'll always be in the 8-9 win discussion with Josh Heupel there. So a question mark for sure, but more of a confident question mark than maybe other people would have Tennessee. I have a little more stock in the fact that Josh Heupel's there and they got a guy like Knowles.
All right, we got 3 left. Let's knock them out real quick. Texas, the good. Arch Manning, Hollywood Smothers, Cam Coleman. This roster is made to win. The
Raleigh
bad
Brown as well, and they lose Livingstone, but they bring back enough weapons that Arch is familiar with. They added what did we say Cam Coleman was, $5 million receiver or $3 million?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
So either way, man's getting paid.
Multi-million-dollar receiver addition. They added some dudes on the defensive side as well. This is another team that spent a lot of money in the portal. Anything less than a playoff is going to be disappointing to them. I think Arch took all the right steps as the season continued. I think the hype he's going to get coming into this season will be a lot more warranted than a season ago. I said this, some people disagreed with me, but it really is a year that Sark needs to prove, make somewhat of a run. They got to get at least into the semifinals of the college football playoffs.
Oh, dude, if they don't get into the playoffs, he's done. He's toast.
I said that, and then Texas fans gave me some feedback that was not correct. But I'm like, are you sure?
I'll believe that. I'll believe that when I see that.
Exactly. You don't spend that kind of money and just go, oh well.
You don't have Arch Manning at quarterback and not make the playoffs once, and this is his last year in college. Arch's last year in college.
100%.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how you could come back from that if you don't. So the bad is the playoff pressure. It's there. It's staring you in the face every time you line up and spot the ball. Yeah. You have to make the playoff. And the undetermined is whether or not you're able to fulfill that. Because what does it look like if you don't? So Texas is built to win. They have a roster to win. They're a favorite in the league. There's so much good. The bad, the undetermined, is all the pressure that faces Steve Sarkisian, even Arch Manning as well, to make it to the college football playoff and put Texas on the map in that way. Missing last year was undoubtedly, inarguably, a failure. So if they tell you otherwise, they're just full of shit. Texas A&M, the good. They won 11 games last year. This is a program that brings back your signal caller of 11-game winner. You know what I mean? He had a bad start in the playoffs. Texas A&M, what is their good, their bad, their undecided? Same thing with Vanderbilt to wrap us up here. Because I want to knock out 2 things before we leave. So I'm going to let you handle Texas A&M and Vandy.
I think the good is getting Craver back, big play receiver.
Mario Craver is good, dude. That dude is legit.
He's phenomenal. Casey Concepcion leaves. I think they're really high on a freshman kid from a year ago. They added Isaiah Horton from Bama. They kept a 5-star kid as well. So they have some weapons on offense to continue to have success with Craver. They did lose their DC and OC. That's losing both coordinators is a pretty big deal. I think Elton was promoted from within. But I have some questions about their defense and if Reed can take that next step and cut down on some of those mistakes. 25 tuds, but also 12 interceptions. He also added 6 more on the ground, but I want to see those interception numbers go down and see which one of these guys steps up alongside Craver. You got to replace Concepcion. And then defensively, I think that's the biggest question to me is what happens to them defensively.
Vanderbilt, the undetermined is Jared Curtis, the 5-star signee for quarterback. I'm assuming it's going to be Jared Curtis that takes over for Diego Pavia. I would assume so. That's the undetermined. The good is, that's the first 5-star signee, one of, if not the first in Vanderbilt history.
Highest, most high-profile recruit to ever sign with Vandy, I want to say.
Yeah. So there's good there. Clark Lay's awesome. Clark Lee. Sorry, I said Lay again. I did it again.
I wasn't going to say anything.
See, and the thing is I'm like you're about to say it wrong. I said it anyway. The Vanderbilt, they're going to be competitive again. They're going to take a step back, though.
Yeah, I don't know how competitive Vandy will actually be. They're going to lose a lot, man.
Oh, they lost a lot, man.
They lost on guys on offense, on defense. They got to start. Pretty much the entire offensive line needs to be replaced. They had some good, I mean, they got some, portal additions in that regard. But once again, these are all question marks until we see them all come together. But yeah, I mean, Vandy to me is going to take one of the biggest steps back. You don't just lose a generational guy like Pavia in their school's history and just keep it chugging along. I get Jared Curtis is going to have a really high ceiling and probably end up being a really good quarterback. But, year one as a true freshman coming in with so much change around him. If there was more of a nucleus of guys returning that, his entire offensive line was the same or something like that, it'd be different. But they're replacing a lot. So Vandy takes a pretty big step back, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We ran through it, the whip around for spring football opening all across the SEC. The ones we're highest on of all of these 16 teams, the ones at Texas, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Georgia.
I'm pretty bullish. I'm pretty cocky about Florida right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No,
pretty cocky about Florida.
You should be. I think Florida fans should legitimately be excited with what they added in the portal, what they added in terms of their coaching staff, what they retained. Florida, to me, is going to take the biggest step out of all these teams. Auburn is kind of. I have more questions about Auburn than Florida in that regard. Auburn also could, but Florida is definitely going to be the most improved, 100%.
I want to touch on a couple of things before we get out of here. Most people that watch me or listen to me read my stuff, mostly at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate 103. Scan this QR code, new members, 5 days for $1 before it switches to an annual sub. We'd love to have you at the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate 103. Ole Miss baseball tonight has Southern Miss, plays at Southern Miss tonight, a big midweek test. Taylor Rabe is starting for Ole Miss. This weekend, they open SEC play at Texas. This is a team that's only got 2 losses so far. Question marks for sure. But this week, I think it's going to tell all of us a whole lot, including starting tonight against Southern Miss. There's a little too much swing and miss for Ole Miss's lineup right now and how it's constructed. I've heard a lot of y'all's questions and concerns about this team, but I'm still very, very much sold on them being a postseason contender. A lot of those question marks that you have, though, are going to be tested like never before this week. So it starts with Southern Miss.
The hardest week of the season, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, this stretch is insane. Southern Miss is what, like 7th in the country? Texas is 2nd in the country. You got to play 4 games against these guys.
So if you go 2-2, you feel good about yourself. You go 3-1, 4-0, buddy. All that concern after the tough stretch in Houston. When you drop 2 or 3 games, I mean, this is a big week, a big test week, put up or shut up week for Ole Miss baseball. Beautiful thing about baseball is momentum is the next day starting pitcher, and even if they lose tonight, Hunter Elliott, who's gotten off to not a great start, but he's your starter on Friday. Kate Townsend, who's been emerging. What
is it with Elliott? Now, I was down in Florida this past weekend for work and didn't really get to tune in, but everybody's texting me in our group chats talking about these shaky starts he's having, but then he seems to kind of settle down. What do you think it is?
Well, he's kind of always been that kind of a pitcher. I mean, if you go back in previous years, like he's a habitually slow starter, and then he settles in. He's just been getting tagged a little bit. It's still early. I'm not worried about Hunter Elliott. Kate Townsend's emergence is what really most excites me about what this team could be, because Kate Townsend's taken that year 2 step, not so unlike Ryan Rollison, not so unlike Gunnar Hoagland. And if that continues, you'll have a real question about whether he should be starting on Fridays and Hunter go back to what his role was in 2022 when they won a title as a freshman, as that Saturday guy behind Dylan DeLucia. So Kate Townsend is emerging. I think I saw a recent MLB draft projection that had him like top 10. I mean, this dude's having that kind of a year. So,
is Libbert kind of the big question, I guess? I mean, based on what we saw early in the season to now, right?
But I love his pitchability. I love his projectability, what he could be. There's still some refinement there. So I think you can see, Will Libbert, I think, is going to be a really good pitcher. He's a major league pitcher, in my opinion. He's not quite there developmentally, certainly as Kate Townsend, certainly as Hunter Elliott. And they've got legitimate options behind him if it doesn't work out. So whatever happens this week, go 2-2. You'll be right where you need to be. Go 4-0. Holy cow! You're gonna get some hopium and Kool-Aid that you never heard.
For all the Ole Miss fans tweeting at Kendall Rogers to be ranked, I don't think it'll be a problem.
But that's true though. But that's legit.
You know why, Ben? You know why? Because this is something I kind of was tuned into this weekend. LSU, right? LSU is currently ranked 12th. LSU is ranked 12th. LSU lost 4 out of their last 5 a week ago. Northeastern, ULL, or Louisiana as they're now known, and twice to Sacramento State. They lost 4 out of 5, and they're still ranked in the top 12 of the D1 baseball rankings. How is that even possible? They've looked atrocious. And also, like, I don't watch college baseball as closely until maybe as we go kind of get out of NCAA tournament time. So I haven't really seen every LSU game, but I keep up enough. I know they've got talent, dude. They've got a lot of talent there. How the hell are they? It just makes no sense. How they lost 5 games, and the teams that they've lost to, it makes absolutely no sense to me.
I agree. And I do look like I am about to have an old school rant in a Call of Duty lobby or like a Halo lobby or something like, listen, noobs. All right. Listen, noobs. We're going to start. No, I'm not doing all that. But you're an idiot. What were we even on? What were we even talking about?
LSU. What the hell?
LSU. Yes. Sorry. LSU. Yes. And that's what was so. That's what's so, like, I would love for Kendall or anybody to explain it to me. Like, top 25 rankings don't really matter to this. But, like, they've lost 4 of their last 5, 1-3 last week against, like, and Ole Miss, its 2 losses were to Coastal Carolina, who was in the national championship last year, and Baylor. Yeah. Make this make sense to me. And, like, but when they were winning all their games, they barely got into the back end of the top 25. And the minute they lost, you dropped them out. And yet LSU can piss down their leg. I don't understand it. I really don't. And whatever rationale would be spewed really wouldn't make a lick of hill of beans difference or any kind of sense. So, like, I don't even – but, like, if D1 Baseball or Kendall and them are like, why y'all – like, explain this. Because it does not hold water. It ain't holding up. It doesn't make any sense. The biggest
question for me. I love those guys. I have a subscription to D1 Baseball. Like, to me, no one does it better in college baseball than them.
You need to get Kendall on this podcast. When I'm taking the girls to Epic on Thursday, do it like a pod, run it on my Twitter too.
Ask him.
Talk to Kendall, bro.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, I would love to know the rationale behind that. It makes no sense. Like, if I were in Oxford, Mississippi, I promise you, I would say, all right, we're going to try to get Kendall on, because, like, I would love to know the explanation for that. It doesn't make any sense.
It's really interesting. And I think I saw Brad actually kind of defending him on Twitter and this whole interaction the other day. And I think Kendall ended up responding to it, but I am genuinely concerned. I like them. I think they do a great job over there. That's why it's baffling to me. I'm like, how do you have 5 off LSU ranked and Ole Miss not? But regardless, the other thing in baseball, you know, I love talking about Georgia. Have you noticed Georgia has hit 61 home runs in 18 games? Daniel Jackson alone has 14, which is 1 less than Auburn and Kentucky's team totals. I don't know what Wes Johnson is doing. Remember a few years ago, they had Charlie Condon, who, like, set the modern era BB Core record for home runs in the season.
I'll never get what Charlie Condon did to Ole Miss. Like, and they just kept pitching to him. He just kept hitting bombs.
He was remarkable. And that was the year Caglione from Florida was also right in that hunt. But I mean, Condon was just right. I don't know what Wes Johnson's doing since he's gotten to Athens, but I don't know if Daniel Jackson's going to quite catch up to Charlie Condon. But 61, Ben, I'm trying to look. The next best team in home runs in the SEC is Vandy with 42. Ole Miss 35. No one else has reached 30. Georgia's sitting at 61.
I'm just saying, it's
incredible.
Yeah, they're absolutely slugging. Ole Miss fan 198-824 asked Ben, how South Carolina beat us on Saturday. I was there for every single game. I mean, every single minute of that game. I was sitting there at the pavilion. This Ole Miss basketball team is one of the most disappointing teams that Ole Miss has put together across all sports in the modern era. One of the most disappointing, hands down. Do they have talent? Yes. Does it work together? Hell no. Malik Dia at 6'9", 300 pounds or whatever it is, like this huge human being playing this finesse game around the rim. Want to be doing Steph Curry with the shot rather than just physically using his 6'9" body to drive hard to the rim to get rebounds. It's been a disaster. So, like, Saturday was not a surprise at all. How did they beat Ole Miss? The same way Ole Miss has been losing to all other things. They get whipped on the rebounding. They can't make threes. They were 1 for 14. They're an inefficient offense. Like, I think they give a shit, but like at some point, if your give a shit doesn't translate into like physically giving a shit, you know what I mean? Right. Like how many times I was like, if Elias would have followed his shot there, he probably would have gotten a long rebound. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of things. This is when the portal goes wrong. AJ Storr was the player that Greg Sankey was referencing when they were sitting down at that round table, that nonsense round table with Donald Trump at the White House. That ain't going to produce jack nothing. You know, a bunch of dudes, no student athletes represented. They're just sitting around a table, circle jerking, saying, yeah, we got to fix this. How? And then Donald Trump's like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to fix all the rules. I'll do it all. I'll fix it all. What does that mean? You know what I mean? But what he was talking about, what Greg Sankey said, I got a dude in my league who's on his seventh school in 7 years. It was AJ Storr. He was talking about AJ Storr, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just, like sometimes the pieces, regardless of the talent, don't come together. Like it's inexcusable that a team with Corey Chess and James Scott can't rebound. I mean, James Scott is making almost $2 million this year for Ole Miss. That equates to like $30,000 a rebound. You know what I mean? Like, so that's a scouting and evaluation miss. That is a development miss. I mean, you can't tell me that this group, that everybody, not just me, but like Chris Beard's surprised they weren't any good. Like, you had national dudes, Jeff Goodman, pick your guy. Say, oh, dude, y'all knew what? Like John Rothstein, watch out for Ole Miss. This team went to 2016. Look what they had.
Part of it was Cameron too, though. Like you really thought you were getting a plug and play star right there. You know, hey, one and done. As soon as this year's over, he's headed the league.
That's what I'm saying. So like he's staying. Like, he's got another year eligibility. He'll come back. You got a lot of sophomores on this team. You're not going to get rid of everybody. You're going to probably keep a couple of them. But like, this whole roster was handpicked by Chris Beard and his staff, and it's the worst team in the SEC. They lost to South Carolina off of dumb stuff. Like, that last possession was out of a timeout. Michi doesn't drive. He wants to shoot distant threes. They were supposed to pick up at half court Michi, and no one picked him up. So he just dribbled down with 5 seconds. Dribbled down, set up, and shot without a contest. Out of a friggin' timeout. I mean, this is basic stuff, dude. Like, picking up at half court is basic basketball. So either they like, I don't doubt that they've continued to work hard, like Beard said, this, that, and the other, but like basic stuff. How do you explain that other than just complete lack of give a shit? Seriously, like really giving a shit. Even if you were like, hey, whoa, so-and-so didn't switch off or didn't pick up at half court, let me go do it. It's like no one really. So this is a huge all season for Ole Miss basketball. Ole Miss paid $8 million for its roster. Now, that is not $20 million like Kentucky, far and away the most. They didn't hit double digits like a lot of them hit double digits. But man alive, last year, like maybe you could have. I mean, I think Ole Miss could have stretched a little bit more and would have been willing to. But now, like, if $8 million got you this,
yeah.
If it got you this. So, like, and if these were your handpicked guys, like, who's going to be making the decisions here? Are you, like, you're the one that spent $1.8 million on James Scott. You know what I mean? Like, that's irresponsible. There can't be any more, like, rebounding got to be overhauled. That's what they did last year. That's why, like, I'm really concerned about what they did this offseason. This is the first team of Chris Beard's without any Kermit Davis holdovers. Matt Morrell and Jamin Brakefield covered up for a lot of stuff. Sean Padula was an absolute hit. He's playing for the Clippers now. Awesome. All right. You're not going to hit. You're not going to bat 1,000. But out of the 7 transfers you signed, one was cut that like actually did their job. AJ Storr, and even AJ Storr, you had to question his effort in friggin' December, right? 1 out of 7. 3 top 100 high school signees. 1 is contributing. Patton Pinkins, and this is after last year. You signed John Bowl, another top 100 player, and he's now at Central Florida. And you're like, well, he wasn't any good. Well, whose fault is that? The hit rate is not great right now. It's not. So on paper, you say 7 transfers in a portal class ranked number 16 in the country, a former Eurobasket MVP in Elias Carmerdine, and 3 top 100 high school players, you could understand why there was such an optimism or at least bullishness about this basketball team. Where did it go wrong? Well, you said you needed rebounding. Rebounding has always been a struggle for Chris Beard teams. The pace, they play too slow. Like, you might have to question schematically how you go about things, how you handle, like what your offenses and your pacing and all those things have been, because in this new era of NIL and like slow pace and an inability or always getting your ass kicked on rebounding, you went into last portal season and said, we need rebounders, and you got them, and they still didn't rebound. There's a lot of questions I have about this team, and that season's coming to an end, barring a run in the SEC tournament this week. Last year, they were 2 weeks late getting into the portal. They were coming off Sweet 16. It was late. This year, the portal opens the week after the season ends. So that has been alleviated. Now Chris Beard can hit the ground running just like everybody else. You got to get at least a dynamic playmaking point guard, right? You want Elias Carmerdine off the ball. Patton Pinkins is a piece of the future, but who else is? I don't know. And by golly, you better go find the best rim running big you can find that can truly play up and down the floor with a faster pace, that can rebound and protect the rim. But we thought that that's what they were getting with Corey Chest, and they've had that even with Musa back in the first year, and they weren't any good. They won 20 games, didn't make the NCAA tournament, and then he went to Memphis. He had a good year. Like, I have a legitimate schematical question, but listen, Chris Beard's forgotten more basketball than I will ever know. I'm just saying it is notable that not just national guys, Chris Beard himself, everyone thought this was a good team, and they were the worst in the SEC. It's more than just lack of effort. There have to be legitimate questions asked specifically about the style of play, what your scouting and development process is, what you're looking for, your calling card your entire career. This is the first losing season in Chris Beard's career, spanning 4 programs. They took to the NCAA tournament. This is one of the best coaches in basketball. And now he's facing something he's never faced before, and it's not because of something Ole Miss didn't do for you. They spent the money for James Scott. That was a miseval. So, there are a lot of questions that got to be answered from Chris Beard and this staff and how they're adapting to this new world, this new culture.
Also, the big
looks
thing
like
is
behind is all I'm saying.
Yeah, Beard gets a lot of credit, as he should, for how well his teams play defense, right? I just feel like the little, and I will say I didn't watch a lot of Ole Miss basketball this year, but the little that I have seen is there was the lack of offensive creativity for me. There was a lack of ball movement. There's a lot of standing around. That's just not going to work. It's just not going to work, especially if you're going to play teams with better talent than you at times in the SEC. You got to be moving. There's got to be ball movement, communication. Effort was a big part of it, though. You can't just put it all on Beard. When you watch them play, you could see that.
Yeah, but then he comes back and says they're always engaged in practice. They're always filling up the gym. They're showing up early. They're doing those things. Okay, so if it's not an effort thing, then the pieces don't fit. All right, what do you need? A 3-and-D wing? Well, those are easy. That's easier said than done. 3-and-D is what everybody wants. You know what I mean? Who is?
I think it was the dynamic point guard is what they're missing this year.
A playmaking point guard, a guy that can go get your buckets.
Yep, because
Stephen Moody, Chris Moore, and Sean Padula. This is in a lot of ways not a system not so unlike Carmet Davis's. It's slow.
Yeah.
Do you need to be faster? Is it imperative? Because William's right, the pieces don't fit. They don't fit with each other. You're like, well, I can just get as many of the best players I can get. Well, it didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work at all. So for me, who you keep is I think you should keep Corey Chest. You should try to develop him more. This whole resetting every single year ain't going to work. Is Nico Bundalo going to be here? Tyler Jordan, he redshirted like John Bull did. Is he going to leave after this year? If you made me put my money on it, I'd say, yeah, that's what happened with John Bull. And let's be honest with you, Beard was saying last year how the plan the whole time was for Bull to redshirt. Well, then he transfers at the end of the year. So Was that the plan too? Redshirt, let him transfer somewhere else? These are all legitimate questions, and I'm not pretending to know the answers to them. What I do know, however, is that it's not just about. I think a good GM would be a GM would be a great idea, but it's not just about player procurement. Stylistically, Chris Beard's got to ask himself some real questions. I think he's doing that right now. This has been Game Runs Deep, Talk of Champions. I'm Ben. He's Sudu. This QR code's for the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate of On 3. Scan it today. New members try us out for 5 days for $1 until it switches to an annual sub. Sudu said he'll be on the message board posting with you guys right when we get off of here, so I can't wait to see you there, Sudu. The Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com.
Let me also, for
Three posts today, Sudu. That's all I ask. Three.
I don't know if we're going to get 3 posts today, but for those of you that are into March Madness, into college basketball, maybe you just haven't been paying attention as much. This Sunday during Selection Sunday, I'm going to go live, more than likely with, if you guys follow Mudcat, my buddy Chip, who's a big basketball guy.
I'll go live with you.
If you're in town, you're back, you want to pop on, come on, man. We're gonna break down the entire bracket.
I wasn't invited.
What were you saying?
I wasn't invited.
You're on vacation with your family, brother. What are you talking about?
You didn't know that. You didn't know that. You didn't even know that last night when you texted me, said we pod tomorrow. You didn't know that.
I did know that. You called me on Friday to tell me that you were going to Disney World with the family and figure out this.
Not Disney World, Universal. I look forward to seeing, if nothing else,
yeah,
Gracie has gotten into Harry Potter. All right, so that means
she's gonna love it, man. I love that. So I when I lived in Orlando, I never went to Disney. I went to Universal probably 7 times, and it was always spending time out there.
I just very much look forward to myself being the Harry Potter nerd that I am. I legitimately look forward to seeing the Ministry of Magic. I'm very excited. I
that's
can't
the new
wait
one, right?
to walk. Yeah, well, it just I don't even care about riding a ride. I just want to walk into the Ministry of Magic. Like I would love to go, take some flu powder and go into one of the chimneys, and I don't care about no rides and stuff like that. Let me get in there. Let me meet Dolores Umbridge. You know what I mean? Let your boy. I'm just saying.
Nobody wants to meet Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah, she's evil. She's evil.
But anyways, yeah, guys. So on Sunday, me and Chip will probably go live. Maybe Benny will join us for that. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'll always love this time of the year. So just a quick nugget before we go, just like an early gift to you from me for March Madness season. So this past weekend, I'm covering mostly college basketball, and the team that caught my eye and I think could be one of the biggest bracket busters this year is Northern Iowa, the champs of the Missouri Valley Conference. They beat UIC. They won their first MVC title since 2016. Their coach, Ben Jacobson, has been there for 20 years. He has had many opportunities to leave for bigger jobs. He stayed true. He stayed loyal. He will now be taking UNI to their 5th NCAA tournament appearance. The school, I believe, had 4 prior to him. In 2010, they beat 8-seed UNLV and 1-seed Kansas to go to the Sweet 16. 2016, they beat 6-seed Texas, almost beat 3-seed Texas A&M, took them to double overtime. This is the team. If you're going to have one this year, I don't quite know if they'll go on a Cinderella run, but they're 22nd in defensive rating according to Ken Pom. They also have offensive firepower. They shot 63% from the field in the MVC championship game. It is an older team. It is one of those rare teams in this modern era of college sports where the coach has stayed there for 20 years. Their point guard is a fourth-year senior. If there's any team that you should kind of put your eye on as a potential Cinderella, Northern Iowa. We're going to have much more stuff like this on Sunday for Selection Sunday, so make sure you tune into that.
I am gonna join because I haven't done a bracket in years, so I'm gonna do a bracket with you.
Let's go. I can't wait.
It's time. And if I win, you can buy me one of these flash passes that James McDonald's is talking about at Universal. Apparently like $300 a head. I'll just wait in the line, like, come on, man. What happened to the old days, man, when you could just go put your ticket in the machine and send you a fast pass and you get in the line for it, like in between 12 and 1. I mean, it's just different time, different place. Now I got to pay $300 a head just to like not wait for 2 hours. That's some nonsense, but it's fine. Like, this is for the girls. I'm here in Orlando for the girls. I'm excited to get to spend some time with them. And I know that Brad will have another show this week. I plan to do another show. We'll see. I don't know.
I think I'm doing 2 shows with Brad. I don't know if you're joining those, but he asked me about Thursday and Friday, and I told him I'd be available. So
there it is. Maybe I'll just like call in, and I'll be in the Ministry of Magic, and I'll be like, look, guys, I'm in the Ministry of Magic. You know, do something like that.
That'll be a good addition, man. I'm here for it. Oh, I finished Night of the Seven Kingdoms, by the way.
How was it?
Oh, it's incredible, man.
And great. And next time we talk about it, we can call it what? What can we call it? Where is it? The Night is Dark.
I believe you might be missing the greater point of the show, Paladin Butters.
Yeah, I know. Winter is coming and there's dragons and zombies on the way. I'm pretty excited for that.
The night is dark and full of spoilers. Me and Maester Daniel are ready to roll, so we're going to bring that back whenever I get back from Orlando. And you're just going to have to sit in with it. Like you can totally nerd out with
Is it
us.
just 6 episodes, or are they going to add some more this season? What's the deal?
Yeah, it's only that's season 1.
That's it. It was just the 6 episodes.
Yeah,
dude, I finished that in like one night. There were shorter episodes too.
See, and you're the problem. Like your generation, y'all are the problem, man. You're the reason why we don't get 22 episodes no more. Y'all the reason because like y'all just want to like binge them and then be done with it. Like, dude, y'all could wait a week. I used to wait every week to watch a new episode of The Office. You know what I mean?
Fine. I can wait a week if it's the type of show that makes you wait a week. But if it's all available, I'm just gonna watch it, man. If I got the time. I can't commit to 1 hour every week, but if I have 6 hours, boom, let me just get
you just can't be content, man. You can't just be content, say that was a lovely, go put your feet in some grass. You know what I mean? Like get out of your office. I'm going to go now, try to have a vacation.
I know you won't have any grass where you're at, so I don't even know what you're talking about. Just pavement.
And we know you got grass every day you wake up. All right, I love you.
All right.
Bye.
All right. See y'all.